had a commenter that was interested in what I carried on my service truck. So usually I carry these two cases that I got at Harbor Freight to kind of keep track of my parts here. And going from top to bottom, left to right, I have several thermostats, and they are different temperature ratings. I can dig through all these. I just kind of bundle them up right here. And this thing I have thermostats too. Some of them are kind of fancy. This one goes on a higher end LG, I think. Here's another one like that. Here's your regular thermostats. They go on Whirlpool dryers. And I have cycling thermostats. That's the ones that have the 4 posts on it, the 4 spade plugs. In this section here, I have some kits, usually for LG and Samsung dryers. A lot of them have different, see the spade plugs in this one go out horizontally, and they have different temperature ratings on them. In the center here I keep thermal fuses. I buy these in bulk, so I use a lot of those. And here I have thermal cutoff fuses that some of them have different temperature ratings on them. So see, this is a 309. Here's a 352. You have to get the right 309 right here, and 352 showing right here. Make sure you get the right temperature for the machine that you're using. These are all thermal fuses, and they get kind of shop worn beating around this thing here, but it is what it is. These are standoff thermal fuses, and they usually have a temperature rating on the back side of them. If not, there'll be a part number that you can match what you're using. Here is one that's kind of unique. I have a couple of those. They're resettable. See that button right there? When they pop, you can reset them. They usually have a lower temperature rating. This one's of 240. But I don't like these resettable units. They're not resettable that often. So that's what I keep in that box. Mostly, anything on a Whirlpool machine I can change from this box. This box has different parts, and I keep a whole bunch of these agitator dogs or agitator cams, because I change a lot of those. In this area, let's see, go top from bottom. Up here I have kits for LG dryers and Samsung dryers, a higher end that has this fancy plug on it. Some of these thermostats will go on different kind of machines. You just have to match it. I organize it as much as I can. See, these thermostats here are on standoffs, and they have the limits, and sometimes you have to have a different variety of thermostats, and over time you acquire that stuff. And this area here I keep door switches. I use a lot of dryer door switches, and underneath I have different kind of door switches. And this one here isn't a door switch. It's a tension switch. It's just a micro switch with a lever on it. I keep them there. Here's some different GE type door switches. This is an old style Whirlpool door switch. Here's a brand new one of those right here. But I just keep them all in this area right here. I use this type mostly. And if you come up with a dryer that has a 2-wire instead of 3-wire, these are perfectly good to use on a 2-wire dryer too. Also, over here I have mostly my GE stuff. I've got a start switch. Start switches go out often on GEs. They will not spring back. And I have a motor speed sensor. Change a lot of those. And I have different style lid switches for GE machines. Here are thermistors and thermal fuses of different types. You can see the thermistor is like a diode in there. You'll see different types in different machines. Of course, these are your lid switches for Whirlpool style dryers. The type they made from, I think, 2000 or just before 2000. And this is where I keep all my electrical components. Here's some lug screws and nuts. They are, they're special threaded. These right here for the Whirlpool motor plugs. Some of these plugs will mess up and burn, and you can change these if you're sharp enough. You get some picks and get the old one out and replace it with that. Splice the new wire into that. Of course, I have some element jumpers in here, and in the bottom I have a lot of extra screws, wire nuts, and things like that. That's what I carry in these two things. Of course, I jumble stuff in there too that I carry around. These switches here are very expensive. I carry two of them. One of them is used. Is this one right here? It's still good. Then I'll offer a customer a discount on this one instead of paying the full price of what this is. These are your W102 48240s. I hate to buy these things because they're so expensive. And I keep a tub hub. These things, I'm going to discontinue using them and use the new thing that's come out for Whirlpool. Here are some kits that I keep. They're just dryer element components for specific dryer. These things you probably won't see too much of. The old Maytag style machines had lid that had, this was the hinge. It was just a nylon ball that fit in both corners and into two dimples. There's one in the cabinet and one in the lid, and this is what you had to kind of pop these things in there, and they'd be the hinges. And Mr. Harper had these, and I've kept them in my box, and I've only had to use them once, but I just keep them in my box. Of course, I use a lot of GE glides. Go there, and I don't usually carry these on my truck. These are wear pads or snubber pads for Whirlpool style machines, and I ordered some the other day, and they just hanging around. I just threw them in the box until I could drop them at the shop. So that's what I carry in these boxes. And when you don't have to go out and buy these things. Like you can find deals on the internet where they're selling maybe the element, and the components come with it. And just when you get them, take the components out and put them in your box here, and sell the component separately than your element. But the way to do that, you look for deals on the internet that are selling 2 of 1 or extra parts. If you buy this element, or the extra parts if you're buying this or that, you look for those extras, and you get those extra deals, and they are extremely valuable to build up your inventory of spare parts. And of course, one other thing I keep on my truck is my dolly. You have to have one of these if you want to function in this business. This is a lightweight magnesium type. Mr. Harper gave me this. I put new wheels on it, put new straps on it like 3 times already. Okay, I also keep a variety of suspension rods on hand. I never keep any G rods because they hardly ever go out, but We in the industry usually refer to these as the last two numbers or the last three numbers. This is a set of 710 suspension rods. They have those little cups on them that you can snatch in a slot on the bottom and pull and put them together like that. Come on, big dog, leave me alone. And I have a set of 45s, and I have a set of 77s, and I have a set of 48s. And this is usually enough to get you by. Now, dryer elements. I use a variety of dryer elements. This one is not that common, but you do have some that go out, and I keep one of these. And the part number is LA-1044. Of course, you use a significant amount of these. I keep two of them on my truck at all times. The DC47-00019 Alpha on Samsung dryers. These also come in handy. I only keep one of each. I'll show you. And as soon as I use one, I reorder it. This is the style here that slides into your shroud. You can see the little spring here. It slides into your shroud. This one here is a 771. It's a 8544771 for a Whirlpool dryer, and it fits into slots. And I keep one of those others. Now this is the most common dryer element. I keep 3 or 4 of these in the truck at all times. Now you can find deals with these that sell the components with it. This is your common Whirlpool style dryer element. I use a lot of these, so I keep a lot of these. This one I ordered thinking I was going to use it for somebody's. I wouldn't normally keep one of these with me, but I ordered it, and so I keep it on my truck, and there'll be a time when I'll need it, so I keep it. It's a dryer shroud, round dryer shroud with the element already in it with 2 prongs on it. Some of them are 3 prongs, and they're a little bit more high quality. Okay, next up I keep these 394 pumps, part number 3363394 washer pump. You can go through a lot of these. I keep these, and I keep about 3 of them. Okay, next up are my water valves, Whirlpool water valves. These are 820s, or W101 44820. I use a lot of these. These go on your Whirlpool estate type washers, the later models. And if you look in the boxes, they come with some neat little tools. You can buy this kit. Now this little putty knife, these are really nice little putty knives to use to open dryers and things, and to open the tops of the cabinets. And have clips on them. So, and you have a little thing of this. You always rob this out, and when you order these, always look for these extras, because you'll use them someday. So 820s, I usually keep 2 of those. These other water valves. This water valve is can't read it. Part number should be on it. This is what you commonly find on Amanas and things like that. Now you'll see an interface like this. You can buy these water valves, and you can buy them with this interface real cheap. And if you'll just take the customer's wires loose, you can use this pump in place of this, and it doesn't work. A lot of times, if you can buy these pumps, and they'll come with this little dongle right here, and that way you can use you can put this into the motherboard and this into your pump. This is the not pump, but water valve. And this water valve comes with two different connectors like this. You'll get this dongle like this, and you can change this one to this one. But unfortunately, you don't get a dongle to make this into this. So what you can do is just take the wires off here and take the thermistor out and change it for whatever's on your customer's machine. Plug in here, make sure you get the blue wire going to the cold water valve. And I keep two of these. Okay, the next thing that we're going to put in my truck are washer pumps. Many pumps, different kinds of pumps. We have GE pumps, LG pumps, Whirlpool pumps, and that's about all the pumps we're going to have, different pumps. But I keep different kinds of pumps in here, and you don't really need to carry this many. I just have this many. Some of these are used because that's a new one. Here's the used one. Some of these are new, and I'll put a new one on. If I run out of pumps, I have these spares, and you don't need that. Is it on that? You never know when you're going to need some pumps. So I keep several different kinds. It would be good to keep G pumps go out more often than anything. And I try to keep a variety of lid locks with me. This one is a brown type. These right here are, this is the Whirlpool type with a short connector, but you can modify these for these long ones if you need a short one. And this is a lid lock that locks from the front. Some high-end Kenmore's Maytags. Here's another brown type. Don't see many of those. And I have all these right here. These are used ones, and sometimes I need them. This particular lock here has the wiring harness on it, because sometimes you find the old U-shaped style, and they changed it to this one. Now I keep this box of switches that are used, and I kind of just throw junk in here. But there's a lot of times there'll be a time when I don't have a switch or something I'm working on. Now this right here is a brand new rotary start switch for a GE dryer. They come in these big old boxes, and they're a little bitty switch. They come like this, but this switch goes out often, and so I keep at least one on the truck. And that's just a variety of switches that I've gotten off of used machines that are still good. And if I don't have a new switch to put on a customer's machine, I'll use that and give them a discount. Something else I'll keep with me is a WE49X20697 kit drum bearing. It's a drum bearing kit for a GE dryer. These go out often, so it's good to keep one with you. Now, as far as carrying all these things with you, you don't really have to. Okay, if you look at these two boards here, I carry one of each of these because if you look on this corner here, it doesn't have that red interface. Now that one does. And one of the reasons it doesn't have the red interface on this one is because this pressure valve is not located on the board. So I keep this one and that one. And the only time I use these is I can't perfectly match the board. These will actually work, but I can get the customer up and running using that board, and they may like it. Sometimes the cycles are just a little different, but not much. Now this board, if you look at it close, they are the same board electronically. They have all the right parts on them. So that's a duplicate board. I keep one of those, one of those, one of those. Now if you look at these boards, these interfaces right here, you'll see this one plugs in opposite, like this one plugs in this way and this one plugs in this way. But that really doesn't matter. But I keep one of each of those. And you can get these boards off of used machines. I'll carry these with me. I also carry a set of washing machine hoses. Sometimes you need those, and sometimes you need them desperately. If you mess up somebody's machine trying to take the hoses off of it. I started carrying timers with me. The timers are some of the first things that go out on dryers. And one of the if you can't get these off of used machines, or if you have to change one on a customer machine, take the other one as a core and send it off to be rebuilt. And there's a guy on eBay that rebuilds these for I think $29 or whatever, and he's a real good deal. But you're going to need the 308B is a common one that goes out a lot, a 970, and the letters are version numbers. Now if you don't have the E or F or whatever, you can always go back to a different version. So anyway, the 972, use a lot of those. And these newer models, see, he rebuilt this one for me, and it will replace a 988 or a 803. Now some of these timers are from really early machines. Here's a 982F. And you see I put a mark on it when I get them back that it's been rebuilt. A 972. It's a 976. And obviously I needed the motor off of that one. Now I keep a couple of washing machine timers with me. So 937. This is some I got off old machines. 681B. That actually can go out to the shop. I keep a motor switch. You can get one of those off an old dryer. Start motor switch on the motor. If the motor goes out, just take this switch off. You may find a time where you need that switch. Here's another 970. I'm gonna go through here. This is a 970. That. So 970. A 972. 988. 970G. Basically, I'm taking the newer style switches out of here and leaving these older ones alone. These are all timers I got off of old machines, and I sent some of them I sent in to have them repaired, just to they may not have needed repairing. They just 970. If you look at this, he sent this back to me, and this switch right here is a 988C or a 308W if you change the plate on it. So it may be a time that I have to do that. This is a good timer. 970. Alright. Everything else in here are older model timers. These will go. This is a GE timer. Brand new. Customer gave it to me. Said it wasn't, he ordered it, it wasn't what he needed. Came by and gave it to me. I take all these timers with me. When I get these rebuilt, I sell them for $79 for rebuilt, because I have an investment in them. I'll show you what I keep in my side pocket. This pocket I keep a supply of motor couplings. Whirlpool motor couplings. You need those a lot. I need to reorder those. In this drawer are Whirlpool belts. I got 241, 341 that I use a lot. There's some specialty belts like this one here. Could be Maytag or what is this one? A different Whirlpool brand models that are special types. But for the most part, if it's a Whirlpool brand simple dryer, it's going to use a 241 341 belt or 341 241 belt. That's what I use most of, and I buy them in bulk. I get good deals on them. In this pocket, I have GE style belts. Usually, here's an older Maytag belt, and this is the 700 series belts, and these are probably the W29s. Yeah, see a WE29, WE first two letters and 29. These are the most common GE dryer belts right here in modern machines. And I have the washer GE washer belts. Yeah, this one right here, change that one a lot. They will get oily and spongy, and you'll need to you'll get a complaint that a customer has a GE washer that will not spin, but it's usually the belt has gotten spongy and oily. The pulleys and all need to be cleaned out, so they clean the pulleys and change that belt to a dry one, and it will start spinning again. Anyway, that's what I carry in my truck. Chip out.